Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back, baby. We back with another episode of the Rundown. First things first, I hope you guys enjoyed the holidays. Happy New Year to you guys. Excited to be back. I told you guys one of my goals is to keep bringing on fire guests, keep having this good content coming for you guys. And man, today, we kicking off the year strong. We got a big time guest, what I'm saying, one of the top 2026 quarterbacks in the country. This kid has set several school records this season, picked up some big time Power Five offers. Man, I'm excited to have this kid on. Welcome, everyone. Noah Grubbs. Yes, sir. My boy, appreciate you for jumping on today. We'll talk a little bit of ball, Noah, as I told you. But as always, I like to give my guests an opportunity to hear from you guys, a little bit about yourselves. So just share with the people a little bit about yourself, bro. Talk a little bit about growing up playing ball. When you start playing the quarterback position? It's always a little bit different for the quarterbacks. Just talk a little bit about how you got to this point, bro.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm Noah Grubbs, class of 26 out of Lake Mary High School, Orlando, Florida. And I started playing quarterback actually my second year of football. I started football when I was 5. My first year, I was the center. And I feel like just playing quarterback, I mean, you're obviously the biggest leader on the team, and you have to be that guy on the team to be able to bring the team up. And I feel like I do great as that, as I'm a leader by example, and I could be vocal if you need me to as well.
Yeah. So Noah, just talk about it, man. Who were some of the QBs you looked up to growing up? And who do you feel like you kind of resemble today?
I feel like I resemble college QBs. I feel like I resemble a good bit of Jackson Dart,
Okay.
and then in NFL, Josh Allen. Like they could run if they need to, but they're in there and they have the confidence to be able to pick apart defenses as well.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, this kid's got the size, pocket presence for sure. Standing around what, 6'4", I say about
Big-
210 pounds.
Yeah, six
So
four
yeah,
around 207. Yes, sir.
yeah, for sure. So I'm already knowing this kid is definitely the real deal when it comes to size. But let's talk about it, man. It's not just size. Let's talk about some of the work you put in, man. Of course, I know the relationship you got with QB trainer Balin Trujillo. Of course, you guys are real tight. He works with some of the top quarterbacks around in the area. Has been doing that for years. So just talk a little bit about the relationship you got with Balin, and how he's been able to impact your development.
Yeah, I feel like Balin's been able to impact me as a person and as a football player. It's not only what he does on the field, but as well as what he does off. And he's impacted a lot. Like he's been almost every single game day visit with me to a bunch of colleges. And he works with a bunch of the top guys around the nation, like you said. He improves all of our games. He doesn't pick a person that he wants to improve more. He always improves everyone as much as he can. And I feel like it's great to have a QB trainer around you that does things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Balin, man. Definitely a good guy. Definitely motivates you guys. For the people that's watching, man, just talk about some of the things you guys do work on in the off season, whether that's getting your quarterback mechanics right, working on your feet. Just talk about it a little bit, Noah.
Yeah, me and Balin, we work on a lot. We work on our mechanics, obviously, our throwing motion, and then the footwork in the pocket, the footwork of rolling out, things like that. Of he gets me on calls of how the breakdown defense is. He tests me about it and things like that. And I feel like with him, like around me, makes me better as a player and a person.
Yeah, man. You mentioned it. Balin does, work with some of the quarterbacks around your age, you know what I mean? And when we take a look at
So
that 2026 quarterback class, man, this might be one of the top classes I've seen, in the last decade. How many quarterbacks you guys got stacked.
yes,
But
sir.
man, yeah, for the college coaches that's watching, for the readers later on, Noah, what separates yourself, you know what I mean, from some of these quarterbacks around your age? What do you feel like, some of your strengths, whether that's leadership, your accuracy, what do you feel like separates yourself from some of these QBs?
I feel like for me, the game's really slow when I'm in the game. So like I read the game as slow as can be, and I feel like when it's slow, you have obviously like in your head you have the more time to break down the coverage. And with my O line up front, they also give me time as well. So blessed to have those people. And then I just feel like if you could read the game slow, obviously you're gonna be better off. And then I can also pick up first downs on my feet if you need me to, which is another threat to the defense. So I feel like it's hard to stop.
Yeah. And just go off that really quick. Talk about your game a little bit, man. What makes you deadly at QB? You talked about escaping that pocket, being able to extend plays. There's a lot of quarterbacks that can just drop back and throw a slant route or whatever. But what makes you deadly? What makes you different at that quarterback position?
Yes, sir. I mean, most completions are not as high for the deep balls, and I feel like for me, the deep balls are pretty high completed. But I mean, I can complete any ball you want me to. I can also use my feet as a threat, like I said. So if you're in man coverage, obviously DB's back's gonna be face towards me, and then another threat is obviously the QB run. So if they have to keep a lookout on that, that's gonna be hard to stop as an offense.
Yes, sir. And Noah, man, well, let's talk about some of the short-term goals you got heading into this offseason. Is there anything you want to accomplish in these next few months? You know, whether that's knocking out some camp visits. I know I seen you at some of those schools last year during that
Yes, sir.
offseason period, getting some workouts in. Just talk about some of the goals you want to accomplish.
Yeah, right now I'm just working with my speed trainer Tony and Balin, obviously, for mechanics and QB training. But right now I'm just trying to get my body healthy, and then just be ready for the next camps I have to go to for spring ball, like that with my team and things.
For sure. And yeah, we'll transition a little bit here and talk about some Lake Mary football, you know, for Lake Mary Nation. And as I told you, this video will be live streamed in a couple days from now. So make sure you guys are commenting, showing my boy some love. Definitely put on for Lake Mary this season. As I said, set some school records, you know what I mean? Just an amazing sophomore season for this kid. So let's talk about it a little bit, man. How proud of you, first of all, how proud of you of this team? I know you mentioned the linemen. You got some senior wide receivers that put up some great numbers as well. Just talk about your team a little bit, man, this coaching staff. How proud of you guys, and how is this level of competition, man? I forgot to mention that. You guys play some tough teams, you know what I mean? How's that level of competition kind of help you develop as well?
Yeah, I'm blessed to be around such a great team that I am. I'm blessed to be the leader of it as well. And I feel like obviously we have three seniors leaving, but Logan, Carson, and Caden, they were a big impact on our offense this year. And then we have seniors on defense as well. But I feel like as a team this year, we accomplished things that we wanted to do. Obviously, we didn't make our main goal, which was to make it to states. But I mean, we came short. We fell off to a good team, Mandarin, out of Jacksonville, and they had a pretty good team. We got them the first time. They got us in playoffs, but I feel like with our team, we go to battle with anybody, and we have players everywhere, all around the field. They can make plays, and that's what football teams need.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, like I said, tremendous season. You know what I mean? I'm not just boosting it up. Nearly went undefeated during the regular season. Man, what'd you learn from this year? You know what I mean? Like I said, just your sophomore season. What'd you take away from this year? The biggest takeaway from the season?
I mean, what I took away is that there's always going to be time until the clock really hits zero.
Yeah.
So, like last year I came in during the third game, like I was rushing everything, and I just wasn't like ready for the moment. I feel like, and then this year over the summer, like getting prepared for everything started slowing down, and I was really just stayed in the moment of everything this year. And then when I did that, everything, like I said, slows down, and I'm just ready for it all, ready
Yeah.
to soak it all in.
Yeah. And week in, week out, man, brother. You're dealing with social media going crazy. Of course, you guys got the competition, man. For the young recruits that's watching, you know, that wants all that attention, you know, it's not always good, bro. But you dealt with it really well. I can, you know, hats off to you. What's some of the things you've done this season, you know, to kind of lock in, you know, kind of like try to block out the noise and stay focused and be that leader for your team?
Yeah, like I said, just block out like if you just block out the noise. Like I just obviously train with Balin, just train with my speed guy Tony. I just mind my business. I don't care what anyone else is doing. I'm not going to compare myself to anybody else. And if I just do me, I'll skip ahead of them if I keep grinding.
Yeah. And for Lake Mary Nation, man, I know we talked about some of the seniors that's going to be moving on and the production they put up this year, especially your receivers and some of the linemen you'll be losing. But, you know, how do you feel about the future of this squad? You know what I mean? You're heading into the offseason, definitely be able to lock in with some of your new guys, your new receivers, get that timing right. So what's your thoughts on the future and how you feeling, brother?
I feel great about the future at Lake Mary. I mean, Lake Mary will always produce people and we'll always
Yeah.
get people. And I feel like as a football program at Lake Mary, I feel like we could go against anybody, like I said. And I mean, it's hard. I like our head coach, Coach Perry.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, and I like the things he does from the weight room to the football field. The things like he can correlate our weight room stuff to the field, and to have a head coach like that really can improve you and put you ahead of some other teams.
Yeah. And appreciate that, man. Definitely wanted to recap that season. You guys definitely made some noise for sure. nearly pulling off that district championship. I don't want to talk
Yeah.
about that too much, and then nearly
Yeah.
that little loss to Mandarin as well. So man, it's all good. Definitely a learning season this year, and you got a
Mm-hmm.
lot ahead of you.
Yes, sir.
And Noah, we're gonna transition to the recruitment talk. For the people that's watching, I know you guys definitely want to hear a little bit about this. This kid's been going crazy, man. He has around 20 D1 offers. It's like every week, it keeps coming back to back. They keep falling in line. Really quick though, man. Let's get it out there. Who's been reaching out the most? Most recently, and we'll start there. Who's been reaching out the most?
I'd say Virginia Tech, UNC, Notre Dame for sure.
Okay.
UCF obviously just 30 minutes away from my house, but I mean it's great to have offers like these. I'm really blessed to have offers like this, and I mean to have coaches, like it's been a dream come true ever since I was young to have coaches to be able to reach out to me. Even though I'm a sophomore right now, so they can't really reach out to me, but me calling them and then just them picking up the phone to me really means a lot.
No, and I want to talk about that really quick. I'm glad you brought that up because, as I mentioned earlier, some of the kids are just, some of these kids are dreaming for an offer.
Yes,
But for a kid like yourself, you're in class, they're pulling you out of class or whatever, out of practice.
Mm-hmm.
So for the young recruits that's watching, how have you dealt with the early interest? Just your second year. I know you're getting interested in your freshman year as well. How important is it, just to stay focused and don't let that kind of overrun you? You know what I'm saying? Your grind.
Yeah, yes, sir. Everyone thinks that like, oh, like he won't get the exposure. He's at Lake Mary, but if you're really like that good, the coaches will find you.
Yeah.
I promise you that. For all the younger people listening,
Yeah.
And so I really truly believe that, and I believe that I put the work in, and the coaches found me, and I'm really blessed to have that happen.
Yeah. And for those that are watching, man, you heard some of the big time schools that's been reaching out to them more recently. But man, I seen a picture of you and Balin at the Michigan game, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just seen what they did, in the college football playoff. Man, how amazing would that be to play for Michigan? Especially, seeing JJ McCarthy. They're going to be needing a quarterback here pretty soon. How amazing would it be to play for the Big Blue? That alumni is crazy. That atmosphere is crazy. Just talk about that game visit. And how do you like that program and your relationship with that coaching staff?
Yeah, Michigan, they've been showing a lot of love as well.
Yeah.
And Coach Campbell up there, he's a great guy, and I love the way that he and that offensive staff like can use JJ McCarthy, and the things that they get him to do, and the way that he plays is also like an amazing game. Yeah. And I feel like I can really fit in an offense that they run.
Yeah. And we're gonna stay home. We'll stay in Florida. We'll come back to Florida real quick. Because I know you and Balin got some ties down there, and the 305. You know what I mean? The Miami Hurricanes, boy, they would love to have a quarterback, 6'4". They looking for something, right? So
Yes,
just talk about, I guess, going down there. It's a beautiful place. Doesn't matter if you like Miami or not. So just talk about that campus for the people that's watching. How do you feel about that coaching staff?
Yeah, when I went to Miami, they brought me on a golf cart around the whole campus. It's a beautiful campus. Yeah. There's like beaches, there's like everything you can imagine. It's just all there in that area. And Coach Dawson and Coach Cristobal is amazing, two coaches. And I think with those two, they will definitely flip that program around. And with the recruits coming in that they have, it'll be a good big change.
Yeah. And you spoke of the red carpet treatment. Boy, let's talk about a UCF that just brought in a KJ Jefferson. They've had some elusive quarterbacks over the years. Gus Malzahn, we know he's a quarterback whisperer. Had Cam Newton in his time. What do you like about the Knights, man? Because you see, you're a hometown kid. You'll be kind of playing in your backyard. I'm a UCF guy, graduated from there, so I gotta ask, how do you feel about Knight Nation? Have you been in the bounce house to experience that? And just talk about UCF a little bit, brother.
Yeah, I've been to the bounce house a good bit. Yeah. So I was actually at one of the games in the beginning. And it was a great experience and a great game to be at. They won that game. And my connection with UCF is Tyson Henshaw is my QB's coach at the high school. Yes, and that's Darren's brother. Yes, and Tyson's been coaching me ever since I was like my second year at Pop Warner. Wow. So Darren's been to like my practices ever since I was like young, just to hang out with his brother Tyson, obviously. Yeah. And then so I've always had a connection with Darren. He was also my first offer when he was at UAB. So I've always had that connection with Darren, and that really feels great to have something like that with a college coach.
That's cool, man. Yeah, that like I said, hometown hero. They'll definitely roll the red carpet out for you. You'll be one of their biggest quarterback commits damn near ever. You know what I mean?
Yes,
UCF.
sir.
But let's move on. Let's go out of the state, man. You mentioned Virginia Tech. You know they've been showing you love for a little minute now. I know Balin has a connection with those guys as well, Hokie Nation. How do you feel about Virginia Tech? I've been out there to their campus. It's a beautiful campus, man. A good vibe out there as well. Just talk about Virginia Tech a little bit, brother.
Yeah, the Virginia Tech. I've been in Coach Chris. Me and Coach Chris have been in contact for a while, and I love the way they finished up the season. They had a couple bumps in the beginning of the season, but the way they finish is always what's like what matters more.
Yeah.
So I loved how they finished like that. But me and Coach Chris have been in contact for a while. So I feel like if you're in contact with a coach like every week and stuff, you guys are gonna build a great relationship, and that means a lot.
Yeah. And let's talk about big time, right? Notre Dame. Wow, you know, that's big time. That alumni is crazy. The history, very historical school. Man, big time to go there. Marcus Freeman's trying to build something there.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk about that, you know, the Irish a little bit. What do you like about that coaching staff, and how do you see yourself fitting into that program?
Yeah, when I went to Notre Dame, I went there for a camp, and he took us on the golf cart around the campus,
Yeah.
and then I also went there for the game versus Ohio State. And when he took us around the campus, that was a big like everything around their campus looks in spot, like everything looks in place. And then when Notre Dame, they actually came down to my high school, like I'd say a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
4 weeks ago, and when like usually a college coach will come in for like 5-10 minutes, like see you, talk to you, like ask how you've been,
Right.
and things like that. But Notre Dame, I mean, they came, they talked for a while. We got on the board some, and I mean to have a coach to do that,
Yeah.
and I feel like they're putting me first to some people, and I feel like that means a lot.
So you like Notre Dame right now, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Let's talk a little about because I seen you go to Texas A&M a little bit. You know, what I mean, I seen you visit Texas A&M a couple times. Of course, they just lost Jimbo. What do you like about the Aggies, man? That's plenty of money out there as well. They're looking to turn it around. They got plenty of money to turn it around. How could you see yourself leading the Aggies, man, trying to turn that program around?
Yeah, I mean, obviously losing Jimbo Fisher was a big deal, but I think they'll be able to push through it. Mike Elko, he was also the one that offered me at Duke as well.
Okay,
And
yeah.
so now that he's there, that's big. And I think with him, he'll be able to turn this program into like what it has been before.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't want to bore you or my guests, so I'll kind of wrap this up a little bit. But I do want to finish with UNC. You know what I mean? Because I feel like when Mac Brown, I feel like you a ball in that program. You know what I mean? With
Yes,
the
sir.
icy whites, with the baby blue, with the Jays, with the Jordans. How do you feel about UNC? I believe you've been out there. If you have, how do you like the campus? You know, and what do you feel about that program?
Yeah, UNC was a big one to me. Most of my family lives in North Carolina. I'm actually
Okay.
like the only people in my family that live in Florida.
Wow.
So my parents, my mom's parents, my dad's parents, like everyone, most of our relatives live in North and South Carolina.
Okay.
So that was actually a big one to me. And
Wow.
my grandpa actually lives like not right next. I'd probably say like an hour to UNC.
Wow.
And so that one means a lot to me. With Coach Chip Lindsey at UNC, we've had a great relationship and a good connection the past like couple months ever since I've been to the camp over the summer.
Yeah, UNC. I'm gonna definitely put a star on that one. You know what I'm saying? Especially with Coach Chip for sure. You know he know how to run the offense.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for sure, man. For the people that's watching, man, this kid has plenty more offers, plenty of more time as well to rack in some more. Like I said, I don't want to bore you guys, but I'll put this in an article. You know, and some of the relationships he has with these coaching staffs and some of the visits he had as well. Noah, I appreciate you for talking about some of the schools. You got plenty of time, brother. You already know that. Big time for sure. Really quick, man. I want to move on to my Fast Five segment, Drew's Fast Five. So I got 5 questions for you, brother, and you just answer them as quick as you can. You know what I mean? They're not big time questions. It's a little fun little segment right here for the people that's watching. So really quick. First off, we're gonna start. Favorite football player of all time?
Randy Moss.
Ooh. Favorite pregame song?
Probably Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill.
Oh, that's my second. Dreams and Nightmares. best post-game meal? Ooh.
Huey Magoo's.
Ooh. If y'all know about Huey Magoo's, y'all missing out for sure. Favorite movie or TV show?
Movie, I'd probably say Jumanji.
Ooh, old school? What you know about Jumanji? All right. And our last one, my boy. What's your best skill on the football field? Whether it's leadership, accuracy, what's your best skill? One word.
Leadership.
Leadership. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Definitely something I want to add to the show for the people that's watching. I feel like you guys get a little insight into the guys. You know, my boy said Huey Magoo's, the chicken tender guy. So, man, I appreciate you for that. Definitely wanted to end it with that because I don't know. I feel like that's cool for the people that's watching. But, man, I appreciate you for hopping on, Noah. Do stay
Yes, sir.
on because I want you to finish it out and wrap it up for me. But first, man, thank you guys for tuning in. Man, make sure you're following the platform. Make sure you're following the YouTube. Make sure you're following my guests as well. Make sure you're following this kid, helping him out, liking and retweeting his posts. He posts a lot, you know what I mean? So, and Balin always shouting him out as well. So make sure y'all hyping him up. But really quick, Noah, as I do at the end of these shows, I like to give my guests an opportunity to, for them to give thanks to the people that's helped them along the way. The Balins, your parents, the coaches, the teachers, you know what I mean? Just talk about some of the people that's helped you along the way and give them some thanks, brother.
Yeah, I couldn't do it without Balin, my parents, obviously. I mean, we've all been to the college game day visits, and I couldn't get there without my parents getting the plane tickets and things like that. Obviously, without my teachers, if I don't, and me, like my grades, if I don't have a good grades, I'm not playing the sport.
Yeah.
And also Coach Tony, my speed training. And then obviously my friends and my teammates, they've also pushed me to be the better person that I am today.
Yeah. Man, very well-spoken kid. Definitely one I wanted to have on the show for sure. This won't be the last you'll see of him. This is just a little quick update, you know what I mean? Just to get his feet wet a little bit, introduce you guys to him. Big time quarterback, 2026. He's going to have everybody grabbing him here, pretty soon. So thank you for jumping on, Noah. I want you to stay on. We'll talk a little bit after. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. Definitely going to keep coming out with fire episodes and fire guests. This is what we do. So make sure you're liking the content, sharing the content. Appreciate y'all for hopping on. Happy holidays.